nothing but closed doors. I'm not gonna break down. See, doubt is a strong drug. It gets in your bloodstream. You lose your hope, you lose your soul, you lose the whole thing. Enough for my whole life to know it won't break me. Ain't no way I'm stopping now. Gonna make my way right through the clouds. I rise. I'm gonna grit my teeth and bear the pain. Gonna climb this mountain.
That was Lost Frequencies with Rise. Welcome to the Rise Weekly Review for June 7th through June 14th, 2021. In our top story, police are seeking help in finding the driver of a burgundy SUV that struck and killed a 90-year-old man in South Chicago. The incident occurred around 11:30 a.m. on the 9100 block of South Commercial Avenue. The driver of the SUV struck the man who was crossing the street and immediately fled the scene. The man was taken to the University of Chicago Medical Center where he was pronounced dead. The vehicle is described as a burgundy Chevrolet Tahoe with hanging handcuffs in the back, tinted windows, and a black front right side fender. The vehicle is pictured here. Anyone with information on this or other Chicago crimes is asked to call 311 or leave an anonymous tip at cpdtip.com. On Tuesday, a burning body was discovered in Slack Valley. The body was found in a vacant lot near the 9900 block of South Houston around 7:25 p.m. According to reports, a witness saw burning smoke in the area and thought it was someone burning debris. Reports have not released the identity of the person, only stating that it was a man and the body was badly charred. On Friday, a man was shot and killed in South Shore. The man, identified as 30-year-old Shami Cox, was parked on the 7600 block of South Exchange around 4:45 a.m. when the shooting occurred. According to police, another man reached into the vehicle and shot the man 3 times in the chest following an exchange. The shooter fled on foot and was described as between 5'10" and 6'3", weighing between 200 to 225 pounds with a beard. On Tuesday, a body was recovered in Lake Michigan near Calumet Park on the east side. According to reports, boaters were out fishing around 7:15 a.m. Tuesday, several miles offshore near 95th Street. They reportedly spotted the body and reported it to police. The Chicago Police Marine Unit was able to recover the body and returned it to shore. The body recovered was originally believed to be a man in his 50s. However, recent reports have stated that Cook County medical examiners were investigating whether the body was actually that of 20-year-old Kelvin Soto from Puerto Rico, who disappeared in the lake on May 2nd. Late Sunday, a 16-year-old boy was shot and wounded in the North Harbor section of East Chicago. The boy was found near Guthrie and Elm by police with a gunshot wound to his ankle around 5:30 p.m. An apartment located on the 3400 block of Guthrie with 2 people inside was also hit with gunfire, although no one was injured. Police are searching for a possible suspect driving a silver or gray Chevrolet Malibu. Anyone with information is asked to contact Detective Isaac Washington at 219-516-2390. On Wednesday, an Indiana man was convicted for a series of rape and robbery attacks on women that occurred during the summer of 2016 in Calumet City. 26-year-old Keith DeWitt Davis from South Bend had met many of the women through online exotic dancing or sex work ads. He would ask the women to meet him in houses that were vacant or abandoned near Pulaski Road and Burnham Avenue. He would offer the women up to $120 for consensual or commercial sex acts to lure the women, where he would threaten them with a handgun, a pipe or wrench, and physically assault, rape, and rob them. In the final attack, police found a half-naked woman walking down the road who escaped Davis. Davis reportedly placed a metal object to her head she originally believed to be a gun. She grabbed it and pulled it from him. The object ended up being a pipe she struck Davis with and escaped. Davis called the woman on her cell phone to threaten her, and police were able to track the phone records to identify him. Davis was sentenced to 30 years in federal prison. In national news, as more states began reducing COVID restrictions, the number of mass shootings has increased. According to reports, there have been 270 mass shootings in the U.S. so far in 2021. The numbers have been increasing over the past several years, and reportedly this year is a 40% increase from the same numbers seen this time in 2020. The website gunviolencearchive.org has documented mass shootings that have occurred across states. Mass shootings defined in this category are those in which at least 4 victims were shot in a single incident. This differs from the FBI definition that only counts incidents in which 4 or more people were killed. Increases have been seen in states across the political spectrum, including states that are considered to have either extremely weak or very strong gun restrictions. the number of U.S. gun deaths and mass shootings is considered extremely high compared to other similarly developed nations. In other local news, the city of Chicago and state of Illinois have officially reopened for business. As of Friday, capacity limits were removed from bars, restaurants, gyms, and other large event spaces. While there are still cases of COVID being reported in the state, the numbers are considered low enough by officials to remove pandemic restrictions. According to reports, over 60% of Illinois eligible residents have been vaccinated. However, the numbers are dramatically lower on Chicago's southeast side. According to reports, only 33.2% of residents in the 60617 zip code and 28.9% in the 60633 zip code are fully vaccinated. Social distancing requirements are no longer required, however, mask mandates remain in effect for public transit, airports, hospitals, and schools. According to reports, over 25,000 Illinois residents have died from the pandemic so far, and over 13,000 in Indiana, with Lake County reporting the second highest number of cases and deaths. A new industrial park is being planned for East Chicago. A Chicago developer, the Misner Group, is planning on building a 249,000 square foot industrial space dubbed the Homerly Business Park on the site of the former Edward Valve Company at 4400 Homerly. The group is investing $20 million into the facility that will house light industry, warehousing, logistics, and distribution businesses. Developers were targeting the area they say has a favorable business tax climate and good regional labor force, along with its proximity to good transportation and the Chicago market. Developers will build a rear roadway near the rail lines to reduce truck traffic near residencies. And finally, online registration is now open for the George Washington Youth Soccer Camp. George Washington High School is partnering with coaches from the Chicago Fire to host a soccer camp at Calumet Park. The camp will run from June 28th to July 2nd between the hours of 9 a.m. to 12 p.m., or another session will be held from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. In addition to soccer, CPS is hosting a number of other skill camps. However, students can only participate in one camp per week. You can find more information at the bit.ly address on the page. And that ends our weekly review for June 7th through June 14th, 2021. Thank you for joining us for this week in review. Peace.
Ain't no way I'm stopping now. Gonna make my way right through the clouds. I rise. I'm gonna grit my teeth and bear the pain. Gonna climb this mountain once again.